You know, you've been covering the NFL too long when you can predict big news hours before it happens. I was close. Welcome, everybody. It's Friday, 41st straight day, covering the Detroit Lions on the Detroit Lions On His Side Lone Wolves podcast. Happy Friday, everybody. Beautiful Friday. Man, what'd I tell you? I told you that I was going to try to celebrate my anniversary. There would be some news. I was hoping it was going to be Detroit Lions news, a nice signing to excite people. But, oh no, this is the Detroit Lions we're talking about. The fan base was hungry, clamoring for an external free agent, a splash. They were hungry. And what do they get? What do they deserve? They get the Packers to see and be aggressive and be bold. So we're going to talk about it. Big M. This has been the fun. The best message I get throughout the 41 days. Nice. I finally caught Doc live. Doc is a G, Big M. That means that really is nice. 41 straight days. Why am I a G, Big M? What do you like about this Lone Wolves podcast? Let me know. That really means a lot to me. Hey, I finally caught you. And listen, all the 41 shows you can go through. You can relive the highs and the lows. You can relive me declaring that Hendon Hooker was over before everybody else. But really, the message that you guys sent to me, thank you. The message, the one that made me feel the best was, hey, I can never catch you live. You're all over the place. But I finally get to watch live. Big M, welcome to the community. And you can always watch on demand. Don't worry if it's not live. We'll always have room for comments at Detroit Podcast. You can reach me and say, hey, good show. Sorry I missed it live. That really means a lot, Big M. All right. We all know what we're going to talk about. We got the next hour. I'm suited and booted. Always big meetings for the doc. It's always great. People want to talk to me. And those that know me will walk away enjoying the conversation. And those that have been learning about my story have been intrigued. I get to be selective. It's fun. On SI has been very rewarding. We're entering another year covering the Lions. The doc's hungry. The doc's not satisfied with wins. He wants more. Go here, go there. People, want my services. And I'm very, very confident in what I've been bringing to the table and what I've been delivering. So we're going to talk about it. Here we go. What does the doc think? Will Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers ruin the Lions season? Well, let's set the table. I'm hanging out with my kid. She's got soccer practice. And then we're going to have yesterday was my 15-year wedding anniversary. Grinding and married, enjoying life. And I said, I told you guys on the podcast, I'm going to have to work on my anniversary. It's just going to happen. My wife knew. So I had my computer ready and I got a new car and we definitely fired up that Wi-Fi. And I'm sitting there typing. She is just laughing. I'm like, what does Micah Parsons trade mean to the Lions? And so right away I said, it was hinted. It was funny in media. It was hinted by the mysterious scoops. Who is it? They got every scoop right except the Lions scoop, finalizing Aiden Hutchinson a month ago. That was never true. All the scoops were right except the Lions one. What kind of scoop is that? Lions are finalizing Aiden Hutchinson over a month ago? But you got to give credit where credit's due. Somebody knows something, and they're playing around online. They couldn't get the Lions facts straight, but everybody else got the news. And the news was being sprinkled that there was rumors that the Packers were trying to get Micah Parsons. And I think the most hilarious bit was that ESPN had Michael Irvin on like literally 60 seconds before the news dropped. And he's like, no, this is just negotiations. This is never happening. I talked to Jerry. Jerry's my boy. He was on my podcast. He was dropping news on his podcast. And then 60 seconds later, oh, there's a blockbuster trade. That was hilarious. It happened. So I'll break it down. I love it. All the calm down people got in their camps. They got, okay, we got to get back to work, guys. They all got their columns ready. It's not a big deal. It's not going to affect anything. Of course, it's going to affect something. They all got in their camps. We have to write now that this is no big deal. This is the Lions are going to have Penei Sewell face them all the time. At the very basic level, Micah Parsons doesn't have to match up against Penei Sewell if he doesn't want to. So we're going to handle it reasonably, but emotionally. That's why you come here. We're not going to be like others that are just go to their columns. I mean, have some originality in your content. At least make a different headline. The Lions don't have to worry about Micah Parsons. Yes, you do. You have to be some level concerned. But to what degree is what we'll talk about. Is that all you can bring to the table is don't worry, it's not going to impact anything? That's not how you should do this. Oh, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. No, there are pros and there are cons. There are some things that are not great, and there are things that help out the Lions. But you sit here as a sports fan, and now it happened. I typed the story. It went up, and I apologize if it wasn't the best because I was in my car, my brand new car, enjoying it, touching the screen, all these new gadgets for the doc to figure out. And my wife's like, you got to write it down. I'm like, yeah, I got it out in like 7 minutes. Honey, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm just the worst husband in the world. I'm so sorry. Micah Parsons, like I really care at that moment. So I'll help you guys cope. We'll be rational, but we'll be emotional. So I get out, watch soccer, and there's the pair of dads and another pair of dads. They all got their lines. They're whispering about it. Yeah, the Packers got Micah Parsons. And I'm sitting there walking back and forth, pacing like I wanted to get on the air right away and just start talking because it makes me feel better. And they're looking. Nobody looked at me. I'm pacing back and forth, looking at the phone. First and foremost, what's your reaction? I'm very curious what you think. If you want to get your information out there, super chat. We got a new member, Cortez. Welcome to the membership. Thank you so much for being part of our YouTube community. You guys, man, you bring me to a full stop as I was about to start ranting. The memberships, the engagement, the acknowledgement from you guys to hop on the first 200 people here within 5 minutes. Hit the like button. Help us continue to grow. Help us continue to be a vocal presence in the YouTube community and the content space. Thank you. That's all I want to be is a part of it. Thank you. Man. Cortez, welcome. Membership. We'll have member videos exclusive as we continue. Like I said, I'm going to take a little break. I won't return until Wednesday or Thursday of next week. It's going to maybe be around, I might just do 2 different times. Like just pick, it'll be either 10 or 2, or 10 or 4-ish, a couple times a week. Some with other writers on our platform, some with just myself. But we will be present. It might be every day. Who knows? But I definitely need a break. 41 straight days. I think you guys probably get tired of looking at this face. 41 straight days. And the 41st is to break down a blockbuster. Let's go. We got about an hour. Super chats get read first. Like, subscribe, comment, good or bad. All right, so I got the news. I was excited to talk about it. I loved, that you guys hopped on at Detroit Podcast when I asked you, what do you think about it? Some, naturally, had it's no big deal. Some took the weak take of Penei Sewell will just handle Micah. Guys, Penei Sewell can't play left, right. The Packers have the edge. Micah can line up across from Taylor Decker anytime he wants to. So, yes, there are advantages when Micah does face off against Penei. But my initial reaction was jealousy. That was my reaction. My first thought was not that the Lions are going to lose, not that the Lions are now behind the Packers. Get out of here with that. My initial reaction was the Lions missed out on a chance to get a guy that would have made them closer to the Super Bowl. And I knew it wasn't realistic. I know that. But I'm a person that likes to win. So you definitely would think, man, And here's why. The big man upstairs, and I'm sorry if you're not a religious person. I am super religious. Everything happens for a reason. I was meant to be a podcaster. I was meant to be shy at first and then talk nonsense for a career and get paid to do it and be one of the most successful at it. And I got to at least see Micah dance around a little bit because that's how I am celebrating successes. I don't say, hey, I'm richer, but definitely when I have successes, I'm Micah Parsons dancing around in circles, but not publicly doing it. I just do a little bit here on the podcast. But it was good to see. I was like, oh, yeah, look at Micah celebrate that he's really rich. I mean, $47 million, you're allowed to do a lap. My first thought was jealousy. I was like, I wanted that news to come down to the Lions. And then what was bad was Kay Adams ruined my afternoon. All those clips, Aiden's like, Micah? No, Micah coming here to Detroit, the Lions? He couldn't even entertain the thought. Micah. And Kay's like, teasing him as only she can. He could go to the NFC North. He's getting traded. And Aiden's like, Micah, to the Lions, to us? That would be great. He couldn't even fathom it. Because probably every $3 million more that Micah got would be less in his pocket. Micah can't come here. That's my money. Micah. He kept saying it. It kept playing in my head. Micah, to the Lions, to us? What? No. And he probably, like I said, like many people felt like Jerry Jones wouldn't be stupid enough to trade him. That's the worst PR move in the history of PR moves. I mean, it's probably the best move for the team. Get some picks, get a player. Don't have to pay somebody $47 million. But for the very next 24 hours, the whole world is laughing at the Cowboys. They're an also ran. This year's over for them. Easy win for the Lions. It was pretty easy going into it. But my goodness, the Cowboys are not America's team anymore. That was it. That was the death knell. Some guys celebrated leaving. Definitely celebrated $47 million. So Aiden Hutchinson, so in my mindset, I see that. I'm like, yeah, there's no buzz. There's no talk. Brad Holmes was like, and I love the fact that my question to Brad Holmes got some airplay on the radio station. People reacted the same way I did. I didn't like Brad's answer. I liked Agnew's answer. The radio station and the callers felt the same way. My first reaction is jealousy. Like, man, listen, Roger, F this salary cap. I want different. I want $55 more million right now. Add to this cap, mofo. This salary cap is crimping my style. It's ruining my love of sports. It's making the Lions not be contenders, number one. It's making everybody think the Lions are going to lose. Listen, man, give us an emergency $60 million right now. Bro, the average family of four, my colleague sent me a prominent website, did a study. It costs an average family of four $2,000 to go to one game for the Detroit Lions. You can't hook us up with $60 million so we can get Micah Parsons. Man. He went to the Packers. F the Packers. It'll be that much sweeter when the Lions roll up there week one and win. I wanted impact players, difference makers. I think he's a difference maker. It makes it so that you can say, hey, there's a team now that's got two defensive presences that can do and pass the rush the passer. Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons. That's not a bad combo. Good for them. But I was jealous. Absolutely. That was the first feeling. I was not mad, not scared. What are you talking about scared? It's Detroit Lions. You don't get scared. But I don't sit there and deny the fact that it made the job harder. I like my life easier. I don't want it harder. So for those that put out content, it's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It is a big deal. It makes the job harder. Now there's more preparation that's got to take place for the Lions offensive line. But I want to get your sense. Two things. Damn, did you read the report on Lions on SI? I'm sorry to open the day at 7 o'clock with a story like that, but we had to put it out. It shocked me. $2,000. I told my daughter yesterday, I said, honey, if I can cover the team, I couldn't afford to go there. Or, I mean, I could, but I don't want to spend $2,000 on one day. You know what you can get for $2,000? You can have a party, cater it with not only Chicken Shack, you get Chicken Shack and 3 other places. And Don Miguel's and Juan Miguel's. And you can have Juan Miguel cook you the avocado right in front of you. $2,000 for one day? It's not worth it. It's not worth it no matter how much you love football. You know, the Lions took from me. They took my cash early. I recouped it in spades. I got my investment back. Watched 6-7 years as a season ticket holder, watched 6-7 wins. Now I'm like, oh, they got the best of me. I paid those prices, but not like that. Oh, family of 4, $2,000? If you just think about it, it makes sense. Average ticket price is $400. Let's just say it's $200. That's $800 in tickets. But they're not. The average ticket price for the Lions is in 300s. So let's cope together. I'm going to lay it to you straight. I don't like people that just automatically, I mean, the content's literally boring. Lions don't have to worry. What are you talking about? Yes, I'm concerned. To what degree? It's harder, but here's where it makes things better. The Lions now got a jolt. They got to wake their ass up. They're going to be focused. Don't poke the Lions. Lions got poked. You kidding me? The Lions may have even overlooked the Packers. Not anymore. They're going to be focused. They're going to go in there and they're going to play their best game. That week 1 game could have been sloppy. Not no more. Starting from yesterday, Lions are focused. Boom, puts you right into focus. A focused Lions team with a focused Dan Campbell? You got to be concerned. You got to focus more. Are you kidding me? Micah Parsons there. You have one bad rep. Taylor Decker, Jared Goff's on his ass. Could be a turnover. So you got to focus. So what's your concern level? What do you think? Let's give a couple minutes to your reaction, and then we'll get after mine. Thank you, Big M, again. You respect the hard work. You respect the passion. You respect the open-minded nature to say, hey, yeah, there's a concern. Oh, there's no concern. There's no concern. Corey gets in. Some GMs are good at working things out. People said a few teams would have cap problems, and they figured it out. It's an excuse to me. So, Corey, you think the Lions should have tried any which way to get them? Now, you guys all found your narratives. Green Bay sucks, got worse against the run yesterday. That's a point. But they still have manners in which they can adapt. They know that they got to stop the run. They know the secondary's got to get after it. Visionary Roar. Hey, Doc, do you think Calvin will have a different scheme versus what Glenn did? Yeah, I do think the pressure is going to come from linebackers a little bit more. I think that maybe the pressure will be a little bit more intense at times. More aggressive. Yeah. I think many of you thought the first reaction was, yeah, Hutch getting 50. That's a component. We'll hit on that. I think you guys maybe are going to have a talk about that within yourselves. I can't believe we're about to pay Hutch 50. Do the Lions match Micah? Does Aiden top it? Does it make you more mad that Darius couldn't come here? James Heffron gets in. Appreciate you. I think this trade gives the Packers a much better chance to beat both the Vikings and the Bears as they are more pass dependent. I think the Lions will run more on the Packers with Parsons there. Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about the deal that the Packers made? 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark. So in the end, it might have cost you 2 first-rounders in Branch, 2 first-rounders in Campbell. That's too steep a price. It was just too steep. Doesn't mean I still didn't want it to happen. Figure out a way to make something happen, but you're not going to pay that. Oh, believe me, Brad will learn this season from Cartier. What is he going to learn? Broski Bear, shout out to you. What's up, everyone? Lions fans coping right now, making excuses for dollar store BH. Yeah, you guys are good. Listen, Brad Holmes is not above reproach. There's still 0 rings, but always credit him. He's the best, probably. He is the best administrator you've had, but he's still got to get to that next level. 2 first-rounders, Robert, 2. And paid him $47 million, and they got two big-time cap hits with Love and Micah. Now, remember, too, those cap hits don't start until another season ahead combined. 26, 27. They all got those extensions don't start until future times. Do you think the contract was overrated? $47 million for a guy that can get you around 12 sacks a year. Yeah, that's consistency, though. That's the going rate. Is that a dumb move? What do you guys think? Okay, here's my thoughts on the deal. And type in, if you want to get right to the front of the line, any super chats are welcome. It's the 41st day. It can be as small as $2. Any super chat welcome for the 41 days, or join as a member for the 41 straight days of content provided for you. 41 straight, including Saturday and Sunday. No breaks. The summer of Lone Wolves. Hopefully you remember it. Maybe we'll do it again next year. Here's my thoughts. It makes the job harder to win the NFC North. And anything that makes the job harder, I'm not thrilled with, but it does not shake my confidence that the Lions will be focused and definitely get ramped up for division games. Micah Parsons presents a challenge. He can line up at multiple different spots. He's going to add a presence that is going to have to make Jared Goff pay attention. It's going to force him to get the ball out quicker. It's going to force you to understand, hey, you have to run the ball effectively. The offensive line now has to step it up. But it gets your attention, and I think this is a good thing for the Detroit Lions. I think they might have started the year maybe a little bit less focused, not just, out of laziness or anything like that, but it's just the start of the year. You're getting into it. You understand that it's a long year. Oh, no. Lions are now lasered in, locked in. Micah Parsons is a guy that can have an impact, but he's not the best player in the league. He's not. And so it makes them better, which you don't like. You don't like your opponents to get better. You're never supposed to like your opponents to get better. You hope they get worse. They got better. So that makes things more difficult, more challenging. Do I think the Lions are going to go 6-0 in the division again this year? No. But what stinks is that it now shows you it's possible. Some teams are willing to do it. Now, you just have to hope that the Packers don't have success doing it, because a healthy amount of Lions fans wanted the Lions to make a move similar to what the Packers did. They had Rashawn Gary. They paid their quarterback, but they had to give up Clark. Clark was giving the Lions fits. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that now the pressure is on the Packers to win this year or next. If they don't win, they're going to face cap nightmares moving forward. They're going to have to dump talent. They're not going to be able to resign everybody. Maybe we can pick up a Jaden Reed. Maybe we can pick up one of their wide receivers or somebody that can be of an impact. But for the Packers, they've made a push. And I think many people would like the Lions to have made that push. What's my concern level out of 10? What's your guys' concern level? 10 being, the Lions run is over. 1 being, calm down. This is just another day in paradise. I'm at a 6. It makes it harder to get through the division. Your first game's on the road. You're going to deal with the hometown momentum. You want to start the year off great because you're going to face the Ravens in in week 3. Packers, Bears, Ravens is a nice start. But when you look at that schedule, the Lions are focused. So it's a 6. It's not a 2. It's a 6. You now got to make sure that Taylor Decker's on point that first week so that Micah Parsons doesn't wreck things. Yeah, Brent, very fair. I think 5-6 is the right number. You should never be happy when your opponent makes a deal, especially when you wanted to do the same thing. You just can't afford it. But some people say you can. Some people say, well, if Brad was 5 steps ahead, you don't pay Kirby Joseph. You make him do the transition and the franchise tag, and you don't do all that kind of stuff. Keep some salaries down, and you make the splash. It's an interesting argument. But Brad wanted to reward his own. That's the argument, is Micah, it would be external. External guys don't get love too much from the Lions. They haven't been in the system. They don't know the culture. Some teams make the splash. Some Lions fans wanted that. Go get Trey Hendrickson. Go get somebody to play opposite of Aiden. Better than Marcus Davenport. Is there better out there? Versus the price, possibly. But Marcus Davenport, for what he brings versus the price, might be the best option. The problem is nobody has confidence he's going to play. He's the ghost, Marcus Davenport. I hope he can turn it around so he can gain more and more of the fan base's support. But right now, everybody's skeptical. And he understands it. The team understands it. What's your concern level about Micah Parsons? Now, he does have weaknesses in his game. In his 60s in the PFF run grade. Has holes in his game. And you saw the Packers, you saw the Dallas Cowboys defense was pretty much exposed by the Lions pretty quickly. So I do think the Lions offense will have an opportunity again to be strong. They're going to play well, but it's going to put an onus on the offensive line right from the get-go to get after it. I think you have a chance to take advantage of a lot of mismatches in a lot of areas. Great. He's on the left side. Great. Tesla will be on the other. Perfect. J-Mo's on Micah's side. Get after it. Motions, runs. Listen, next week's game is going to be great. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be a competitive game. I hope they get off to a great start. And now look, the biggest impact that I think it's going to have, it's not on the field. It's for Aiden. They went over $6 million to go from 41 to 47. 47. I don't even know if I'm comfortable paying Aiden 47. 40. I think honestly, I think Brad knew, I'm speculating. I think Brad knew something was coming. Brad's normally not that sullen when you ask, hey, are you going to win a Super Bowl? Well, yeah, he knew something was up. And he knew he was going to have to answer for, oh, no. He probably heard the whispers. The Packers are trying to get Micah. I can't. Man, the fans were not happy with Brad yesterday. Is Brad Holmes too conservative? Do you like now seeing somebody else make a push? Because the other narrative is that people are talking about is, has the Lions' passivity allowed the Packers to catch up? I still think the Lions at their peak and core, when they operate at full strength, are a little bit better than the Packers. Goff's better than Love. Your two running backs are better. Clearly, on the edge might favor collectively the Packers. But I think that your wide receivers are better. I think the Lions are a better football team, top to bottom. So I think people that are casual football fans just think that the Packers skyrocketed to a degree that they can overtake the Lions and dominate. No, it's going to be competitive. They have a chance. Just like in any kind of football game, you get turnovers, you get opportunities at different times. If the Lions shoot themselves in the foot, it's going to be about, in my opinion, this year with the starting talent the Lions have, it's going to be about the Lions. If the Lions execute, heaven help the opponents. If they have bad games, drops, miscommunications, mistakes, not capitalizing on turnovers, then they can lose some games, especially on the road. Especially if the officials won't let Aiden get a holding call. Did other teams catch up? Have the Lions lost their grip on the NFC North? It's not as strong. It was good. They were riding pretty good. And they're feeling like, okay, there's nobody next to me in my Harley. Feeling pretty good. Nobody next to me. All of a sudden you look in the rearview mirror. What's that? What's that yellow ugliness looking thing behind me? Oh, it's the Packers. They're in the lane. They ain't catching you yet. They're in the lane. Man, I wanted this offseason to extend the Lions' belief that they could win the Super Bowl. But instead, most people gain more doubt because of the lack of defensive end move. Riding that Harley, man. It was a good ride. Wind in your face. No helmet, no police in sight. All of a sudden, you see the cheesy nonsense next to you. No, not even a cheesy riding Harley. It's one of those young punks on those speed racers that's got the wheel up. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? You know, the ones that zoom in and out of traffic when you're on 94, and they do it in packs of 4. And you're like, I always pray, honest to God. I always see those guys speed racing on 94 in their helmets. I just pray to God that they end up okay. These dudes got no lack of fear. And I'm talking about zooming in and out of 4 lanes at a time. And they're definitely passing me. And I'm going, oh, let me slow my ass down on 94. I know I see you guys out there on your Yamahas. The Packers are like the Yamaha crew with their helmets on trying to catch up. And we're enjoying our ride on the Harley in the first lane. It's fine. It'll make it so much better when the Lions go to Lambeau, and it'll be so great if the Lions end up 7:30 p.m. winning that game. Oh my goodness. I'll go live. We'll have our content plan. We'll be the game story. Studs and duds. What Dan Campbell said. Doc on the mic. Come here next Sunday. 7, let's say at what it was written. So 7:30, probably with all the calls that are going to go against us, it'll be 7:45. So around 7:45, 8 o'clock, hop into Sunday night. We'll react to the game together. I'm not going to Lambeau. I'm saving my trips for Baltimore, Philly. I don't feel like going to Lambeau is something yet I want to experience. Maybe in a couple years, maybe next year. Right? You guys see them out there. Pray for those riders out there every time. You guys know. You see them. They're loud too. So, again, what's your biggest concern about the Packers? Tell me a concern. Like, we know that I believe most people in this chat believe the Lions are going to be okay, but there is a concern. I think that Brad I think the fans wanted $47 million in a top end number one guy like Micah, and Brad was looking more affordable to be able to pay Aiden this kind of money. I think he knew. Is Aiden Hutchinson worth $47 million a year? To me, he is, but it feels like it prevents you from winning. There's no way you pay him $47, $50 a year. And then how do you pay Branch, Jamo, Gibbs, Laporta, Campbell? I feel like maybe you get 1 or 2 of those guys. That's why it's crazy to me. If you're going to pay Aiden, it would indicate, a financial commitment that is going to require maybe a sense of urgency to get a Super Bowl before you tear it down and have to let some people go. It's coming. Get ready. I think 3 of those 5 that I just named are gone. Unless they take hometown deals, which maybe Jack Campbell would, maybe Sam Laporta would, but they're going to be offered. I mean, literally, the NFL world would be stupid not to try and take guys from the Lions that are productive. Is Aiden Hutchinson worth 4 years, $47 million a year? Oh my goodness. It just, those numbers are mind-boggling. The defensive end market went from 30 to 47 in a blink of an eye. 30, 40, 47. Aiden's like, hell yeah. I'm glad I didn't listen to Scoops. Finalizing a deal. Are you kidding me? That's why it was so weird to me, just to go off track for a minute. Clearly, I understood. I follow all major accounts. My friends Booner are like, look at this Ricky Scoops guy. Great. I look at it. I go, okay. Now I go, okay, number one thing you check, is this guy accurate? There have been some wild misses with the Jaguars GM search, some things like that. So it's not 100%. So I'm like, okay, this is a person with a dog in their profile. And I said, okay, no problem. I didn't hate until I saw the Lions are finalizing a deal for Aiden Hutchinson 3 weeks ago. And then someone yesterday was like, oh yeah, I heard Scoop said the Lions are finalizing it 4 weeks ago. Scoops did not get the Lions coverage right. And it made no sense logically because Trey didn't sign, Micah didn't sign. And so I went out to Booner. I said, I don't know if I can trust this guy. It doesn't make any logical sense. How does that make sense that Aiden's going to finalize a deal a month ago when there is money on the table? That doesn't make no logical sense at all. This guy's a fake. So I blocked him. And I said, stop telling me all the wins this guy has. Well, to me, it doesn't matter. What good to me does that do to learn about all the NFL news correctly and then the Lions news fake? Listen, to their credit, they know something. But I care about people that know something about the Lions. So Booner's like, no, man, you're just a hater. And I'm like, well, where's your respect for my perspective? I'm only caring about Lions news. What do I care about the rest? You'll tell me. No, Doc, trust in Ricky. They trust in Ricky more than me. I said, and we had a fun summer debate. And I said, listen, I get it. But in the field of reporting, you can't be 97% right when you post stuff. You can't post it unless you're right. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any, like, that's the way I've looked at it. Well, I'm good. I posted 100 things. 97 of them were right and 3 were just totally wrong. I'm like, the one that's wrong relates to the Lions. But Doc, Ricky said the best part was our debate just on that one topic. Doc, Ricky said Aiden's getting the deal. That makes no sense. Micah got 47. How was that going to be finalized? I was like, Aiden's camp would be stupid to take that deal if it was offered. You got to wait for Micah. Simple as that. This is simple stuff. No, Doc. No, Doc. Ricky said it. And they kept asking me over and over, like 2 weeks later, well, did you see Ricky? No, I said the deal will happen faster when Micah and Trey are done. That's what's going to happen. Aiden's getting paid. Now it could happen today, tomorrow. Now it could be closer to being finalized. Lions news per the Doc. I think what would happen is if I made I think I would get more respect if I made an AI caricature of myself, put this person on, make an AI version and put it on Twitter. I'll tell you guys secretly, the 400 people here, the name I'd use. And then people would believe me. Don't put your face out there. Don't put your name out there. So, I don't know. 47 million for Aiden just to me, and of course I'm biased. I love Michigan State, but Aiden's productive, but $47 million productive? Like, my brain doesn't sit with that kind of number. My brain. $47 million for one player? Could you get 18 sacks with 3 players making 6? I don't know. 6 sacks each, $10 million each. Jesus, that's a lot of money. It feels like to me that's a lot of money. Would Aiden go to 45? For the hits, my man. Appreciate your support over the 40 days. I don't understand, Habibi, why everybody's flipping out. When we played Micah on the Cowboys, we still dominated. Well, Micah's not on the Cowboys, and that offense was terrible. Everybody's freaking out because the concern is, first and foremost, they're jealous that the Lions wanted that splash to give them a clear advantage to silence all the naysayers. It's fun to go into a year when everybody believes you're the best. It's not as fun when everybody's like, you're going to fall off, you're going to dip, you're not going to make the playoffs. It's fun to be the king of the castle nationally. It's fun. I mean, there's enough homers here that write about the Lions that make you feel good, but you also like it more when the national media loves you too. I get it. You like the preseason hype. You like to be king of the castle, top 1 segment of Sports Center, top 1 segment of FS1. You like that. I like it too. The homers can't write enough puff pieces to make everybody happy. But if you got Micah Parsons, everybody be happy. There would be literally no complaints. Or that there wasn't a perceived aggressive nature enough. So I'll share a colleague's post. I have to respect him. And I know he knows I wasn't clowning him. But I'm all about gauging reactions. That helps me do the show. So here's what my man Adam Baydoun said. And he's great. I kind of agree with him in regards to what he said. Adam Baydoun is not happy. And he's got a voice, and he's got a willingness to give bold opinions. Now, I think it's strong. It's a strong take. What do you think? Got a lot of reactions, clearly. What do you think of my man AB's comment? Adam was like, you could have gotten Micah Parsons. So you can go react at Detroit Podcast. My man AB, good dude. Whatever you may think of him, stick to the opinion. Don't attack his character. You like his opinion, you don't like his opinion. Simple as that, but we got to talk about it. Micah Parsons going to the Green Bay Packers is the final nail in the coffin on this pragmatic approach from Brad Holmes. I can't believe this. Only 2 first-round picks. I'll be jumping off the Ambassador Bridge later this evening. Habibi, call me. I'll give you a discount, Habibi. Buy 12 sessions, get 1 free. Habibi, you can't jump off the Ambassador Bridge. You know somebody. All right, maybe I'll give you the first 10 minutes free. You know, listen, Habibi, I'll do the thing for you. You know how I'll do it. I'll raise the price. Listen, I charge normally X amount. I will, openly just charge 10% more and then reduce it 10% so we're even. Or, for you guys, I'll come on a podcast and calm everybody down a little bit. But you should be concerned. Now this, a little dramatic, but I like it. Now I want to go to his other comments because it puts it into context what he was saying. Yes, you could have made the Micah Parsons deal work. It comes at the cost of not bringing back people. I'm happy to take that risk. Others, not so much. I would be okay with the deal and not winning a Super Bowl. Everything costs something. Opportunity costs. Now, here's what that means, is that he was responding to people that were saying, well, if you bring Micah Parsons here, you can't guarantee a Super Bowl. Well, no crap. It's September. I can't guarantee anything. But you give yourself, let's say the Lions had a 69% chance of winning the Super Bowl without Micah. You add Micah Parsons, it goes up to 75%. That's better than 69%. So I need you guys to do simple math. 75% is more than 69%. So adding Micah Parsons would have been great for the Lions. Yes. So stop making these stupid arguments where you tell Adam, oh, well, you can't guarantee a Super Bowl without him. With him. No, you can't guarantee nothing. But I would definitely feel a lot better. I would definitely feel comfortable with the defensive end room. And I think it makes the team sort of pretty good for the next couple years. Aiden Micah would have been nice. So don't discount Adam and come back with him and make stupid arguments to him. Adam is of the opinion that, Habibi, Adam, like I said, you can disregard his take or not agree with it, but don't disrespect the man. He's a good man. I'll tell you, I can't even tell you, he's a good man. A good man. And he's Lebanese, so it makes him a good man. So, outside of the Packers' reaction, are you mad the Lions didn't make the all-in push? To anybody. Micah Parsons, Adam Beydoun, his point was, which has been similar to mine. That's why I like it. It didn't have to be Micah. Felt like the window has required a push. Fortune favors the bold. Me personally, I am in line with Adam. I do not care about success in 27, 28, 29, 30. I do not care. I care about 23, 24, 25, and this season. Win now. I would take a lot of good standard radio bit questions. Would you take one Super Bowl and not make the playoffs for 15 years? Hell yes. Would you take a Super Bowl appearance and not make the playoffs for 5 years, 10 years? Yes. Gives yourself a chance. You can't win the Super Bowl unless you're in the Super Bowl. And so there is a notion that the Lions could have made a push. I'm in that camp. Put your nuts on the table, make a move. It doesn't work. You're good at evaluating. How long? Okay, if they make the push, you bring in Micah and you blow out everybody. Branch, and Jack Campbell and Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. Does the draft end? You make a move. Does the draft end? Do they stop? Does Brad Holmes stop getting to watch film and stop getting to meet with all his scouts and stop meeting? Does college football end? Guys, they're paying the athletes. So guess what's happening? The athletes are bigger, stronger, faster. They're eating more steak and ribeye. Bro, these 18-year-olds, I walk up to them, I'm like, God damn, what you eating? Prime rib, dog. Can I have some? Damn. 6'3", 295 pounds, you're 18 years old. What you eating? You're like, I'm in the gym since I was 14. I'm getting paid, bro. You're like, damn, I had to wait till I was 40 to get paid. Damn. Does that mean there's never going to be another Jahmyr Gibbs, another J-Mo, another Jack Campbell? It just stops? Brad Holmes stops. He makes a push and it stops. Does Brad Holmes stop adding talent? Does the free agency world stop? Everybody acts like, oh my God, you guys are so wrapped up on the nuts of these athletes, you can't let any of them go. Tim Patrick, oh my God, they traded Tim Patrick. Guys, my opinion, and I respect it if you do, you love the players, you love talking to them, you wear their jersey. But this was a year that you look at it, and maybe last year, before the injuries, was a year you could have acquired more talent and risked a little bit more aggressive. Okay, maybe us as fans want level 9 aggression, but the Lions are at level 2.5. Can we get like level 4? Can we meet in the middle? And I think that's where some fans have angst. Where are you at with what Adam said? I respect it. Do you sacrifice some picks, some players? What do you guys think? We have Aiden for another season after this one. By the way, we also have J-Mo locked up. Yeah, you don't have to give him the extension. What do you think about what Adam said? He has a right to say it, and it's a loud representative voice. Now, would it have been for Micah at 47? I might have did Trey at 30. See the difference? Make a move. And look, the Eagles got Saquon. That was an external move. Would you not argue that maybe was a final piece kind of move? The Rams got it at the deadline. Now the Lions can still do it, but there's a growing sense that Brad Holmes is too passive. What do you guys think? Did Brad Holmes ruin the window? There'll be more. There will be more. So we can have this conversation and not say that the Lions are done forever. I think Brad Holmes can rebuild the team again. What's fun is doing it once. What's fun is doing it twice. What's fun is doing 41 podcasts. So to say that Brad Holmes is too passive is not that critical. More talent, more difference makers. So in my opinion, what caught my attention from what Ray Agnew said is he believes we got Ray Agnew. We've got difference makers across multiple positions. I want more. If they had 19 difference makers, I want 20. They got 21 difference makers. I want 23. More. Always the answer is more. You got guys that are like arguing on their platforms. Oh my God, this team is great as it is. Based on what? That is the definition of hope. Based on what? If you're a journalist, based on what? The facts are this team has never been to the Super Bowl. Based on what? Where is your common sense coming from? You should always be with your ass on fire. The team has never won. It should be like, I want this, I want that, I want all the toys. You want all the toys. Until we see what it looks like, what the roster is on a team that won a Super Bowl, we don't know what it looks like. You got a bunch of guys that you have, but they never won. What if you guys are the Bills? What if you're the Ravens? What if you're just that one final piece short? Why? Just ask yourself the question, why hasn't the team won? Last year, you can say injuries. 2023 was too young. Exactly, Steve. And I think, in my opinion, and I get it, exactly, Doc, thank you. What these people don't realize is that general managers are putting the chips on the table. I think that's what fans in Detroit like. Throw your nuts on the table and let's declare our position. Let's declare what we're doing. I love our process. I love rings. Can we meet in the middle? It's not because we're cheap. It's not because we're cheap. It's not. Please do not put that out there. They're operating within the parameters of the cap. And what we're trying to figure out is, and debate, is not cheapness. Brad Holmes is not cheap. He pays his boys. The issue is who he's paying. There's a love of familiarity. And Brad is a psychologist as well. He understands all this, but he's made his stance. But it may not align with winning a Super Bowl. His stance is, we love our own. Nurture the family. Nurture the flowers. And then pay the flowers. Great. We love our dandelions. We love them. They're purple. They're beautiful. They're growing. They look nice. But damn, there's a couple petunias out there in the garden 10 miles away. Damn, that would look nice in our garden. Man, but these petunias, they cost us $100 to grow and everything. That rose petal over there, it's freaking expensive. Right around February. Those roses are expensive. $200 for roses. I don't know. I didn't cultivate it. I don't know if it's going to grow. I don't know if it's going to wilt. And he loves his own. And he's yet to be declaring, this is it. This is the year. By going out and getting 2-3 free agents that are clearly in line with their field to be the top of their field. It's expensive. But, you might have had to sacrifice Kirby Joseph to get 3 other players. That's the difference, is the external aggression. Again, we all want the most expensive car. Brad, more economical. We just want to meet in the middle. Might have been Trey Hendrickson. Might have been somebody else. And most people have targeted the defensive end position because the other positions seem to be in line. But you could have made more aggressive moves. Where are we at with it? Are you okay with this approach as well? With Brad's patience? Now, he is not scared. Trust me. If I believe at this deadline, there may be, I think he's hearing the rumblings that you guys are not happy. I think there will be a level of aggression at this deadline that will be different. The problem is, Brad, please read the injury report. It cannot be coming off a 2024 ACL. Just eliminate. This is the fans. We don't accept that. They must have a clean bill of health in 2024 and 2025. There shall be no injury report in those two years. Nothing. No ACL, no severe ankle sprain, no torn Achilles. Clean bill of health. Maybe, okay, at least until October of last year. No injuries. Find those guys. They're out there. I have to believe they're out there. No injuries. None. He didn't get a cold last year. He didn't get the needle. Nothing. He's healthy. Healthy. Understand? Nothing. And then if he is injured, lie. We got this guy, and that's the first 4 words you use. We really loved his health, his availability and his health, and his availability and his health. We really think he can help. His health was really appealing. His health was really appealing to us. I think we give him a standing ovation in the media room. Yes, healthy. And Can you sack the quarterback? Because these people are hungry. They've targeted one position they love, and that's defensive end. Can you find a guy that can sack the quarterback that's not Marcus Davenport? We found this guy. He played literally. They don't read off the contract. That would be great as a troll, Brad. I'm giving you a free troll to the when you give the info to the guy you did the podcast with. When you give the info to Field Yates, just give the health stats. We've decided to sign defensive end Robert Macaroon. He's played in 79 straight games, and his doctor report is clean. And back in 2022, he had a clean bill of health from his physical, and all is good. No contract, no terms, no years. Just give his health numbers. Played in 69 straight games, has never missed, and spends, here's his PFF time in the table grade. The average football player spends 69 hours a year on the table with the trainers, listening on their iPad and getting rubbed up and getting their feet taped. He is at a level far below that. He spends 2 hours in the trainer's table in his whole career. Brad, that doesn't sound accurate. It is accurate. He spent 2 hours in the training table, and that's what I'm telling you. You just release all the health numbers. Everybody be like, good on you, Brad. Just the health numbers is all we care about. And actually, I'm not lying. That's what I'm looking for. When they sign somebody, it is so crazy. I think, on a side note, just joking around like this, I have gone to their pages, the team pages, and I look, when was their last injury? When was their last ACL year off? Can you get somebody that had an ACL 9 years ago? If you're gonna bend a little bit. I was there, Steve. No, he didn't go off. Guys, let's keep it realistic. He didn't go off. It was one of those deals where I was there. I was right next to, I was a little confused by it, but I understood it as I talked to my wife about it. Brad was like, we made a roster that we felt like guys that made the team. And what Dave said, and Dave's right. It's actually one of those situations where both parties are right, and I can see both sides. Brad's like, we have a standard, and we pick the guys that have the standard. And Dave is like, okay, why not take the guys that are the three other guys that you feel are the next best guys, have them on the roster, and if you want to pick up three new guys 24 hours later, you just cut them. But Brad's sending a message, which is you do X, you make the team. It's semantics. And what all Dave was trying to figure out was every other team kind of doesn't do that. They just pick the best 53 players. Now, Brad technically didn't do that. Brad picked the standard of how many people he believes makes the team, with the notion that there's going to be more moves. So that really, in the end, is nothing. It's a topic. Well, see what happens is journalists, they get all like their brain gets fried. Pattern. 53. Oh, there's only 50. Why? What do you mean why? It's kind of common sense. He only liked 50 people on Monday. Why? Their brain got fried. I get it. I understand the journalist brain, but their brain got a little fried. Why only 50? So Brad's going, what do you mean, why 50? I picked 50. So Brad is not a journalist. So he's like, I picked 50. But Brad's got to remember, he's in a room full of journalists. Journalists have a brain type. And their type is, oh my God, you ran the ball 50 times last week. And then last week you ran the ball 50 times. And then the week after you ran the ball 50 times. Oh my God, last week you ran it 46 times. What does that mean? Brad, we've noticed that you've run the ball 50 times the last month, but yesterday you ran it 46. Can you tell me why? That's all. I understood both sides of it. It was weird because they kept going back and forth. And I don't think Dave gave the best response to it because he was trying to kind of talk on the fly. It's hard to do on the fly. It's hard to do because, there's cameras there, a lot of people watching. A lot of y'all are in there saying we suck at asking questions. It's hard to do. But Dave should have said, other teams make 53 players on their roster. You didn't. Why not just cut the 3 players that you don't like? Yeah, exactly. But we can't assume that. We need all Brad had to say was not what Brad did wrong was he's like, I don't understand what your question is. I don't really understand. I don't understand. You want us to give gift spots? No. What Brad did was then throw the argument out, make straw man arguments. No, we just wanted to know, bro, you teams don't make 50-man rosters. That's all. So no, Brad should have just said, no, for us, we understand that there's 53 men that get cut. We looked at our roster and we had ideas that maybe some others were going to come in. So we kept those spots open for the guys we brought in. We like these two guys. So we're getting closer. That's all. But Brad made it weird. What do you mean? And that's what he does. And that's what people do when they're trying to figure out the intention of the media. And Dave should have just answered it directly. Like, most teams start the year with 53 men on their roster and they make cuts. It's a little bit weird to us. I'm not used to that. So that's all. It was just a weird interaction. Brad and Dave are not enemies. I can tell you that. Listen, I don't have to spend time pumping up the competition, but Dave Burkett is the nicest, most professional media member there is. Hands down. Hands down. I walked into the media room 2019. One person asked what I was about. One. You know who that person was? Dave Burkett. I have tremendous respect for what he does. Forever and a day. They all looked at me like I had 8 legs. For a long time. And I was like, yeah, bro, I got 9. You want to see the one here? One guy asked about me. What do you do? Oh, how'd you get here? Oh, interesting. One. Probably he's like, oh man, this guy's going to take my job. But he knew to ask. Nice person. I hold Dave Burkett at the highest regard of how you do the job. But man, he asked Brad Holmes some silly questions, doesn't he? Man, he hogs up the media. Takes less time for me. Dave, listen, man, I know you like 3 questions, but now I like 3 questions too. Trust me, do not speak ill of Mr. Dave Burkett. You may not like his questions, but don't speak ill of him. He's the best. Hands down. All right. I got about 7 minutes left before the rest of the world needs my attention. Thank you guys. You made me feel a little better about Micah Parsons. Listen, in the end, it wakes up the Lions. It gets them going. But it also, I love it. I love guys like Adam Baydoun that spark ideas. The Lions fan base should not unite in one cause. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's groupthink. That's silly. You need people like me to ask Brad Holmes directly. You did not hit on Hendon and Broderick. You need people like me. The bad guy. You need people like me while you sit there and ask your PR questions. So in the end, Micah opened up and woke up the Lions. Now, it's going to be tougher. The road is tougher. You may end up losing this game to the Packers. But the road is tougher. Exactly. Cartier, that was my thesis yesterday. Lions fans acting like they won already. They haven't won squat. No, they weren't. There's no dancing. I asked them directly. What'd you learn? I mean, yeah, what are they going to say? They weren't good enough. Brad said it directly. No, Brad answered it. No, he did not dance around it. The question was valid. The answer was valid. No, he didn't. He said directly, if you guys, when you listen, and I guess maybe because I'm 46 and I spent 25 years listening to people, there's a lot of fluff in a lot of these media sessions, but there's a couple sentences that you take out of it. And I know it gets lost in the shuffle and Brad drones on with run-on sentences, but you got to listen twice to Brad. What he said was, Hendon and Broderick did not meet expectations in a timely manner. That's it. That's all he had to say, but he filled it with a lot of other stuff. Period. Full stop. That's all you need to say. And then he said, you know, the reason why we kind of didn't hit on it is you can do all the preparation in the world, but there's risk when you draft people. And that's what happened. Well, guess what? When we all know that already, Brad, that's why we want you to go out and buy established players. That's why we want more. We know there's risk already. Well, Mr. Brad Holmes, we all watched the Lions draft Andre Ware and Roy Williams and Eric Ebron and TJ Hawkinson. We are aware of what the draft can bring in risk. We know risk. Mr. Brad, we know that when you draft guys from college that have injuries, there's more of a risk that they get hurt again. Mr. Brad, we know that already. You're talking to a fan base that knows it all. So you don't need to ask, why are we asking for a position outside the organization? The draft is risky. Risky. You moved up and gave capital away for Broderick Martin because it's risky. We all know that. So if there's a defensive tackle that can play ball, we'd like you to bring him to the Lions and not make us wait 3 years to develop him. The draft is risky. So he did not dance around nothing. Brad don't dance. Now, Brad can add a couple eloquent words and challenge a little bit, but he don't dance. Trust me. He's direct and honest. But he definitely understands how to answer a question where he needs to do it. No. I do think that's a little bit, listen, guys, I think you're misplacing what we're talking about. Here's what needs to happen. Brad Holmes is at an established level of a general manager. Beautiful level. One in which we can all appreciate is far better managed than, he's got a better hit rate than all the others trying it. But now we are asking more of Brad. Brad, you are well within the right to have your position for a long time. Well within it. But we need more. More. We need to go from the level of top 8 playoff team, 6 seeded, 3rd seeded, 1st seeded, to 1-2 in the Super Bowl every year, like the Cowboys were. So to do that, there are a couple decisions you got to make that got to be elite of the elite. You got to get into that rarefied elite air. So what we're doing is we're not critiquing Brad Holmes. Don't do that. We're challenging him. Do better. Do better. Doesn't mean he's not doing great. He's doing great. You always got to say he's doing great. It's a playoff team, multiple years in a row. Division winners 2 years in a row. That is worth credit. Do better. Don't thump your chest and be like, yeah, do better. Get this team in the Super Bowl. Win a ring. Look externally. Be a little aggressive. You will be rewarded far greater that way than this way. This way opens them up to criticism. Trust me, we will not call for your firing. The Lone Wolves podcast will not hate on you if you risk and lose. Go all in. Push. Fortune favors the bold. What are you waiting for? Sustained success? You also have to recognize we've been waiting darn near, what is this, 61 Super Bowl? We don't have no. Listen, the fanboys, the hardcore fanboys that want the players to kiss their butt like that. We just want one. Then we can do all that. Oh, rebuild it for 25 years. Nobody cares. Get the one. Get the one first. Just get the one, satisfy our hunger. And if you push all in and it takes you another 7 years, fine. Rebuild it again. We'll be with you. But doing it this way Detroit is not like that. Detroit's got big stones. Detroiters start podcasts when the whole world thinks it's stupid. And then we tell the NFL, I'm coming. We don't go, oh, okay, thank you for all the denial emails. I'm just going to let that roll and never get there. Hell no. I told the Lions, stop denying me. It's not going to happen. You actually pissed me off. You're making me wait, take 3? Are you kidding me? I said, okay. Make me wait. Make me go on probation. That's nonsense. Bold. Be bold. I said, I'm coming. I'm going to be in the media. Here we go. Print my name out. Detroit is bold. Put your stones on the table and be bold. Let's go. What are you waiting for? One more year. These guys get older. Maybe Jahmyr Gibbs wants to start acting like Micah. Everything changes. I hope this talk that we just had for the hour makes everybody feel better, riles you up a little bit. Do you think the Packers have taken over the Lions? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to ruin the season. What will ruin the season is passivity. Get good players. I want difference makers. How many they got? 22? I want 25. More. If the word more doesn't come out of people's mouth, they're not understanding what is the big issue. The big issue is you have not done nothing. And one team has made a push to try and do it. Let's see what happens. Now, to Steve, Adam does not have one. It's unfortunate, can't speak on that matter, but listen, follow him on X. You saw it here. You can go back and find him. He's got a big voice. Get after it. Get after it. Give these people what they want. You just saw other NFL teams are willing to be aggressive. I don't think the Lions' passivity will derail what the outlook of the season is. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team now to answer your question, but this team will change by the deadline. This team will change. They will grow. They will have new players. They will add some talent. I got a feeling. I got the feeling. You need people like me. You need people like Adam to wake your ass up and spark some conversation. Otherwise, it would be, Lions are great. They're going to play the Packers. How are they going to do? They're going to win. Week 2, how are the Lions going to do? They're great. They're going to win. How are they going to do week 3? They're great. Lions don't have any defensive end. They're great. Habibi, that's boring as shit. Stop it. You need people like me. You need people like Adam. I'm your favorite Habibi. That was my 41 episodes. I hope you found something fun in it. I hope you felt like you knew me a little better. I cannot do 42 in a row. I gave you everything I had over these 41 episodes. I will not broadcast tomorrow. Not broadcast Sunday. Maybe I'll miss it and come back Monday. It's Labor Day. Dan's talking. I'm probably not going. Bro, one media session on Monday. I wasn't supposed to say that. But there's a media session on Monday. On the holiday, I'm not going. I choose me this weekend. I hope you enjoyed what I brought to the table. If you felt like I was bragging too much, I really respect somebody that messaged me yesterday on here. If you don't let people know, they don't know you're in the kitchen. They don't know you're in the game. And I would celebrate wins like Micah did. Dance around the room, have a lot of music. I just wouldn't post it on social media. Maybe say it on a podcast. But thanks, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Mahdi, for the well wishes on my anniversary. 15 years strong. She knows she's got a good one. I gave you the best I had for the 41 days. Could it be better? Maybe. Could I fall in line with the others? Maybe. But I can't. You need people like me. Podcasting. YouTube. You sit there and you ask your boring ass questions. I kid. You guys are mean in those comments. This media stinks. By the way, I will probably echo it, and I'll leave you on this to show you how humble and nice I am. Will the audio people of the Lions please give me my own microphone? Everybody else can use your old janky system or whatever the hell it is you're doing to get these voices heard. I would like a big green mic that says John Macaroon on it, spelled correctly with my proper name, and give it to me. I get the first 3 questions, and everybody else can start talking. Humbly, respectfully, I will negotiate a barter. I don't need my own microphone declared publicly loud to 600 people on the internet. Maybe next year, give me another credential that I earned. We can negotiate. I don't need my own microphone in the first 3 questions. The people can't hear the questions. Let me tell you, you don't need to hear them. Give me a big green microphone and let me ask some questions. Or that may not be possible, feasible, in the budget. Put the microphones that people can hear on my questions. And then operate however you do the rest of the way. Can you please help the people hear the questions? Listen, I don't know. I think they've done some differences. I hear mine. I don't know what you guys also got to upgrade your Commodores. Get to the iPhone 16. I hear them, but they are a little bit faint. Can you please make the people happy? You're still in the comments. I can't hear the questions. And you know why I'm in there. I'm trying to see, does anybody go, man, that John Macaroon asked some really good questions. Yeah, I do. So we can negotiate. Big green microphone for me only, or let me have a friend. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. I hope you laughed. I hope you didn't take it too seriously. I hope you realized this is entertainment. I'm entertained by doing this. Don't take anything personally. If I like your comment, not liked it, didn't put it up there, I love doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I have many places to be. I carved out 50 hours of my time to come and entertain the fun stuff that we did. I listened to you talk about me being bald and ugly and short and fat and inadequate and a troll, but I would have it no other way. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. Let's keep it going. Let's talk next week. Go Lions, 1-0.